Assalamu alaikum. There are hundreds of gurus teaching you how to make money online, but they never talk about the real way to make money. As Muslims, what are the tools that we can use as Muslims to get wealthy? Muslims should be the ones that get the wealth. Why are we not wealthy? Well, in this video, I'm covering 6 principles that you can use as a Muslim to get wealthy. And I'm not talking about getting rich from a crypto pump or some TikTok dropshipping. I'm talking about building real halal wealth. And I can tell you, it doesn't come from connections. It doesn't come from your knowledge. It comes from principles. And these are not just some random principles. They're the rules of the game. You might miss one and you'll struggle. But if you apply all 6, by the tawfiq of Allah, you'll become successful. So let's dive straight into it. What do the Muslim millionaires have all in common? The number one biggest thing, and you might have never heard of it, is they're all Sadiq. Sadiq comes from the Arabic translation being truthful, which is someone who never lies. He's known for being truthful. He has a great reputation. And this also reminds us of the Prophet ﷺ, who was known for always saying the truth. He never lied, even when making jokes. And this is a common trait you see among successful entrepreneurs. They are always honest. Even if the truth is hard, even if it doesn't sound good, they would always tell you the truth. And this is key, because this is how you build your reputation in business. This is how you can get clients to trust you. This is how you have such a great reputation. They can just sign on a piece of paper that you have an agreement and people won't have to do their due diligence on you. They know you are trustworthy because you are sadiq. And this is something that will take years to build, but you need to start today if you want to have this reputation. And there's even a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, I'm going to read it to you now, which is truthfulness leads to righteousness and righteousness leads to paradise. And a man keeps on telling the truth until he becomes a truthful person. Falsehood leads to al-fajur, which is wickedness. And al-fajur, wickedness, leads to hellfire. And a man keeps on telling lies till he is written before Allah as a liar. And you can find this hadith in Sahih Bukhari 6094, which is why if you want to build a successful business as a Muslim, you need to stop lying today. And this is an actual point. And you might catch yourself and say, oh yeah, I don't lie. Even when you make minimal jokes with your friends, you might say, oh, yesterday I was with this guy. No, I'm just kidding. This was a lie. This wasn't true. And these are habits that you'll build. It might sound crazy and sound very small, but I'm telling you, it's the small habits that turn you into a sadiq person. Imagine if you catch yourself even on jokes and you say, I'll never lie. Even on jokes, I'll tell the truth. I never even, for us, it won't hurt anyone, I know, but I'll still never lie because that's how we should be as Muslims. How hard would it be for you to not lie on other things? It'd be such a thing that you build that you never lie ever. And that is how you build a great reputation and a sadiq reputation. And the last point of being sadiq, of being truthful, is doing everything you do with ihsan. And what I mean with ihsan is excellence. You always want to be excelling in everything you do. You want to care more about your clients than they care for you. You want to care more about your prospects than they care for you. When you speak to people, always keep this in mind. I am a Muslim. I represent Islam. I should always do things I'm doing with ihsan, especially if you're dealing with non-Muslim clients. And it reminds me back in the days when I started my marketing agency, I was dealing with non-Muslim clients, but I always had this reputation. They always knew we could have an agreement. I'd always hold my words, even if I had to lose money, even if I miscalculated and I have to take the loss. If I gave my word, I gave my word. And I would insist, and that was also a way of making da'wah. And I would say, I'm a Muslim, I gave you my word. I cannot go back on it. And then they would respect you. You'd have a spine. They would say, okay, I work with many clients. This guy is the Muslim guy. He never ran me over. He was right. He said he would do something. He actually did it. And this is what builds you a great reputation. And imagine if you have such a great reputation that people look at Islam in a good way. They say, this guy told me that he's going to hold his word, not because he wants to sell me a bigger deal or he wants to do something bigger, because he's a Muslim. How big are their religions? How much do they trust in their Lord? They don't even see their Lord. They could take my money and run away and nothing would happen technically. But still, he came back and he said, because I'm a Muslim, I'm truthful, I cannot do this. This is beautiful. And this is a way for you to make da'wah. If that person reverts to Islam or learns about Islam thanks to you, you're getting the hasanat just by doing your business properly. It's the best of both worlds. Now, being a truthful person is not going to be enough for you to get wealthy. The second principle is being independent. You only rely on Allah and yourself. A lot of people these days tend to rely on others. They tend to ask a lot. Specifically, I hear this a lot when people are trying to get jobs. They hope people will give them a job, hand them a job. They don't want to go and acquire the skill set that would make people seek after them. They just hope you'd give them something. Do you know anyone that's hiring? Can you please give me a job? Can you please help me? And this is you becoming dependent on others. And this is a big problem that stops you from becoming successful. If you want to become more successful, make more money, and have a better life, you need to learn to become independent. It doesn't mean don't have a job. It just means don't rely on that job to be your only source of income. It doesn't mean build a side hustle either. What this really means is build your skill set. Become good enough that people go and seek after you. They want to keep you. They want to hire you. You provide value to people. I have a bunch of videos that you can watch on my channel where I teach you how to acquire skills, side hustles you can start wealth, etc., which is really important for you to build your own skill set. Now, if you feel like you need personal guidance from successful people to start your own business, I'll leave an application form in the description. You can fill it till the end and someone will get in touch if you qualify. Now, just a disclaimer before you apply, the mentorship is for Muslim brothers only. It's super intensive. You need at least 4 hours a day to dedicate for us to train you. It's a requirement to get results. And the team behind the mentorship is huge. So the mentorship is quite expensive. Now, if you don't have money, just keep watching the videos and just make dua. I'll be happy. Because every entrepreneur who's really successful always says that if they go back to zero, they could build it back up, even without the connections, even without the money, because of the knowledge. So building your skill set to become independent is really key. So you want to acquire more skill set to become more capable, become independent. Read books, buy courses, watch videos, whatever ways, learn and acquire more skill set. That will make you more valuable and you'll become more independent. You won't rely on others to provide you a source of income for you to provide for your family. And here again, we have a hadith. It's in Sahih Bukhari 1469. And I'll just give you a portion because the hadith is quite long. Remember, whoever abstains from asking others, Allah will make him contented. And whoever tries to make himself self-sufficient, Allah will make him self-sufficient. And again, every day you should strive to become self-sufficient. And what I mean by this is that you don't have to have a business, but you should always strive to learn more skills to become self-sufficient. Now, moving over to the third principle, you might have heard of tawakkul and you have trust in Allah, but have you heard about yaqeen, having certainty? And having yaqeen is a combination of both having tawakkul and tying your camel. What I mean by this is you want to achieve something, you know Allah Azza wa Jalla is the one that's going to give it to you. So you make the dua, you give the sadaqah, you have the belief that Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to give it to you, but also you're doing your part. You're tying your camel, you're learning the skill, you're calling the client, you're reaching out for help because you know that you need to both ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to give you the thing, but you should also do the sabab and go and do the actual actions. And this is something a lot of Muslims struggle with. They say, oh, I'll just make dua and Allah will provide for me. Allah will not provide for you if you don't go and seek. He will help you if you go and seek. He'll make it easier for you, but you cannot just make dua and wait and hope money will start falling from the sky. It will not. You have to make dua and go and do the sabab. And what I mean by doing the sabab means doing the hard work, means the work that you don't want to do, means the work that you feel lazy about, spending the hours even though you don't know anything. You go and you seek for help. You go and you try things. This is the sabab. And I guarantee you, this is even how I started my businesses. I always was making dua. All I have no idea how this works. I have no idea about this industry. I'll just go and figure it out. Please just help me. And this is the number one thing by far that helped me across all my businesses. I became industry leaders in many industries within record times because I always had yaqeen that Allah Azza wa Jal would be the one helping me. I had certainty that Allah would back me up, but also I would tie my camel, I would do the research, I would buy the mentorships, I would buy the courses. And just for reference, I spent close to 6 figures on courses, over 6 figures actually today, Allahumma barik, which just shows you this is just to acquire more skills, and I'm continuing again and again to invest in myself. And it's just an example with courses, you have masterminds, and even if this is out of your budget, you can go ahead and read books, you can go ahead and watch videos. Videos are free. There are tutorials for free on YouTube that teach you how to make money. And again, think back about the principle before. Don't start asking, oh, where are they? Figure it out. Become independent, because no one is going to save you. No one is going to give it to you and come and grant you everything. Oh, here's the free course, learn everything for free, and I'll just do this because I love you. I'm being honest with you, no one will do this. But if you make dua and you ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to help you and you do the sabab, you will be successful. And I'm the living proof. And I also know countless of other Muslims that are all super successful, and this is because they have yaqeen. They have certainty that Allah Azza wa Jalla will give them the thing that they're looking for, but they also go ahead and do the sabab. They tie the camel, they learn. They're the ones that come the earliest in the office, they leave the latest, and they also extend the sujood and make dua in sujood for Allah Azza wa Jalla to help them. This is the winning combo to become successful. The fourth principle that successful Muslims follow might surprise you a little bit, and it's they don't have a choice. You have responsibility. As a man, you are responsible for your family. You have to provide for them. And the most successful Muslims, they are proud of this responsibility. They proudly go out in the morning and work. They proudly come late after a hard day of work to come home for their families to be safe. And you should be proud of it as well. If you're currently slacking and you're scrolling on TikTok, you're not going to work, or you're having your wife to work, or you could actually go ahead and work, akhi, own it. Be a man. This is your responsibility. And I'm not talking about people who struggle, may Allah make it easy for you. I'm talking about the lazy guys, the one that could go ahead and do, but they just want to let it go and don't have their responsibilities. And this is a big problem in the ummah today, specifically because this is fard on you. As a man in Islam, you are responsible to provide for your family, to provide for your kids. If you are capable of providing and you are not doing it out of laziness, you will be sinful. And honestly, there's no better feeling than having this responsibility and being proud of it. You're the man of the house, you're the bread earner, you're the one that provides for the family, and the family is secure thanks to you. That's a good feeling. Now, you want to act on it. You want to suffer for the ones you love. And I'm not saying just suffer and love pain. I'm not crazy. What I mean by this is sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes you'll have hard times. You'll feel lazy. You'll feel tired. You'll have a few hours of sleep. So be it. It is your responsibility. And again, you'll be rewarded for it. And a pro tip, by the way, if you change your intention when you go to work, you're going to work every day anyway. But if you change your intention from going to work to just make your money and make ends meet to going to work to earn for your family and provide for them because that's your responsibility, you're getting hasanat just for working. You're doing it already. Now, really, I want to insist on this one last time. It's really sometimes you'll suffer for the ones that you love. You'll have to work on just a few hours of sleep. You'll have to go and call the client even if you don't want to. You'll feel bad. You'll still have to go to work. Then so be it. You'll feel like you're lost. You'll feel like you don't know what to do, but you'll still have to do it because this is your responsibility as a Muslim. The fifth point, and now we're going back to happy stuff, is shukr, specifically in good times and bad times. Everyone is thankful in good times and says, oh, alhamdulillah, yeah, thank you, Allah, I have this. But really, you need to also be thankful in bad times. Always know it could have been worse. And this is really important because a lot of people can easily start thinking, oh, I'm in the worst position. I don't know what's happening. And I can guarantee you it could have been worse. Because I can tell you, akhi, whenever you're feeling bad, there's someone on earth that just received some bad news. Let's say you're stressed at work because it's too much pressure. There's someone who just lost his job. Now he can't provide for his family anymore. And this guy that just lost his job, he might feel like he's in the worst position. Well, there's someone else that lost their entire family. They can't even provide for anyone. They lost their families. And for this person again, there's a worse person. So always know whenever you're in good times, thank Allah because He's providing for you and He's giving you great things. And also when it's bad times, always be thankful to Allah Azza wa Jal because it could have been worse. He may have prevented you from something way worse. And this is in all situations. You may break your leg and you say, oh, I'm so unfortunate I can't walk. Maybe you would have been handicapped for the rest of your life. Maybe Allah prevented you from this and just allowed you to just break your leg. Be thankful. You never know. Because imagine this. Imagine if you were to be ran over by a car and become handicapped for the rest of your life. You'd feel really bad. Now imagine if instead of this, Allah Azza wa Jal would prevent you from this and just say, no, I'll save him. He'll get hit by the car, but he'll only break his leg. How thankful would you be? Now imagine if you did not have the whole context and you just broke your leg and you start to be angry and say, oh, why me? Why this? Allah just saved you from something horrible and you're not thankful and you're complaining. So really understand you should always be thankful. And by being thankful, you'll also win. Like Allah Azza wa Jal says in Surah Ibrahim, and remember, when your Lord proclaimed, if you are grateful, I will certainly give you more. But if you are ungrateful, surely my punishment is severe. So you don't have a choice. Always be thankful. And this is a reminder for all of us. Sometimes it's very easy to get overwhelmed and think we're in the worst positions, but always know there's someone else that is way worse. And Allah Azza wa Jal is only testing you because He knows you can handle the test. And the last reminder on this one, inna ma'al usri yusra, fa inna ma'al usri yusra. So with hardship comes ease. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. So always know bad times will pass and you'll have good times again. And actionable points to be thankful to Allah Azza wa Jal, it might be you just making dua and being thankful. It might also be you giving sadaqah to thank Allah. Make sure you conceal it and you do it privately. It might also be you doing it with your actions. Let's say you're struggling with a certain sin, you want to give it up for the sake of Allah. And these are only a few things that you can do to show Allah that you're thankful for what He's doing for you. Now the last and final point, and I'll try and not get angry on this one, but really this one kind of rubs me the wrong way, and it's rojoula. Where are the men today? Think back about the Muslims. Think back about the Sahaba. How were they? How would you describe them? They were strong, capable men. Think back about the descriptions of Muslims today. You see them as being oppressed, as being, oh, if you introduce yourself as a Muslim, they would think, oh, maybe he's a bit different. Maybe we should go slowly with him. If you see someone trying to get a high-paying job or trying to be elected for something and he's Muslim, you would say, oh, maybe not. Maybe he's not the best. And this is a big, big problem. Where's the rojoula? Where are the strong men? This is a very common trait amongst very successful Muslims is they have rojoula. They are strong men. They don't make excuses. They don't say, oh, it's not my fault. And you know what? Actually, even if it's not their fault, they own it. And there's a very simple principle that I learned a few years ago, and since then it changed my life, is that even if something is not your fault, it is still your problem. And no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to solve this problem for you. So if you have something currently in your life that makes it difficult, that makes it not as easy as other people, I understand it might be tough, but what do you want to do? So what? It is hard. Great. We can sit here and just watch you and say, okay, it is hard. Or you can say, cool, it's hard. Allah is testing me. I won't make excuses. Even if it's not my fault, it's still my problem. No one's going to solve it for me. So saying it's not my fault doesn't help me. I'm going to figure it out. I'll own it. I'll man up and I'll figure things out. And on a final note here, you should always remember that Islam pushes you for leadership. It pushes you to achieve great things. Some Muslims think that there's a good thing with being poor and being a good Muslim. There's no association with this. It's a wrong understanding of the Sahaba and the Sunnah and how Muslims should behave. Did you know that 7 out of the 10 Sahaba that were promised Jannah are the equivalent of millionaires today? Allahumma barik. They were big leaders running big companies, big businesses that today you think, oh, there's only people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos that can run such big companies. Before, it was Muslims. Where is it? Where is the rojoula? And you need to understand, even the Prophet ﷺ was making dua against poverty. It is not good to be poor as a Muslim. And the really important point that you should understand here is that money is going to flow anyway. And a really important thing you should understand is, look at the biggest companies. Who are they owned by? I don't have to do a drawing, you're gonna understand. Otherwise the video is gonna get taken down. But you get the point. This is because the Muslim men have weakened. And know that sometimes if you get lazy, if you don't go ahead and push, if you don't try and achieve great things, not only you're doing yourself a disservice, not only you're doing to your family a disservice where you could achieve more, but you also might be doing a disservice to the entire ummah where you could do more, but you're just getting lazy. And here I'm specifically talking to people who out of their way just get lazy. I'm not talking about people who have difficult lives and try and do it. No problem, may Allah make it easy for you, and I'm not perfect. I'm far from this. What I'm saying is I see people who are just lazy and just get complacent and have a lot of opportunities. I see so many people that are much smarter than me, much better than me, that just do nothing, and it boils my blood because they have so much potential, but they just decide to get lazy and they do a disservice to so many people. And this is how you end up having huge companies in the hands of the wrong people and so many bad things that are happening just like in the world today. Now you might be telling me, thank you for these 6 principles. They tell me how I should behave as a Muslim to be successful in business, but what are the practical steps I should follow to run my own business? Well, Habibi, watch this video. I break everything down on how to start a halal business online.